Hey guys, I'm AJYT Abbott, and this is a very, very difficult video to do. I have watched hundreds of movies, and it is very hard to rank all of them. So, if your favorite didn't reach the list, it might be somewhere in, I don't know, the top 20? There are some honorable mentions, I'll mention them, of course. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if some of my favorites or some of your favorites, and just let me know if you guys agree with this list or not. Remember, it's my list, not your list. We're gonna have different opinions on certain films, and that's okay. But let's get on with the video. These are my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Just some honorable mentions before we start. I would like to honorably mention Rocky, of course, Rambo Last Blood, because I love it, the original Terminator, and Aliens, and as well as Crawl, which a lot of you probably won't even be familiar with, Captain America Civil War, the original Halloween, and John Wick. Thanks so much, and enjoy the video. At the number 10 spot is Steven Spielberg, the masterpiece Jurassic Park. This is just a classic film with just a lot of classic lines. I mean, I find myself quoting this movie all the time. You got Sam Neill, you got Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, just a really great cast in general. The effects still hold up in my opinion. I still love the Raptors and the T-Rex and everything when it enters. Of course, Jeff Goldblum's shtick is great as Dr. Ian Malcolm. And I just can't wait to see where these characters from this film go in Jurassic World 3. Always a classic. At number 9 is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now, even though Terminator Dark Fate has pretty much destroyed everything within this film, it does not lower the quality of this film. Arnold is electric in this performance. So is Linda Hamilton, as well as, man, I forget who plays John Connor, but he killed it as well. This is just a perfectly crafted action flick. And as well, just like Jurassic Park, I find myself quoting this film all the time. Hasta la vista, baby. That's classic. I just love this film, and it's probably my favorite Arnold film. My second favorite Arnold film, or actually no, this is my favorite. Second is Terminator 2. My favorite Arnold film, of course, is Predator. This is just another one where I quote stuff all the time in this. Just stick around and get to the chopper. A lot of movies on this list are very quotable, and a lot of them are action flicks, as to be expected. This is a really fun action sci-fi film. You got Arnold in there. You have, of course, just a really, really good cast. Great kills as well. And while the rest of the franchise is not as good as this one, this will forever stick out. At number 7 is Avengers Endgame. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Why doesn't he have Avengers Endgame at number 1? Well, because Avengers Endgame is flawed just like every movie. There is no perfect movie. Even number 1 on this list has problems. Not big ones, but it's very minor, just like this film. This is just an entertaining joyride from minute or second 1. And that final third act where everybody comes in, Avengers assemble, I am Iron Man, another quotable movie here, and just a fantastic conclusion to 20 or 21 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Great wrap up. At number 5, I believe, or 4 or 6, sorry. At number 6 is Shaun of the Dead. This is just forever a classic for me. Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, they are just an amazing electric comedic duo. And I just love how Britain makes these just weird, out there zombie flicks. And they're killing it. Britain was killing it with this, zombie comedy. And I see why, because this is just, I never find myself bored with this film. I quote it all the time, you know, like, "You've got red on you," just little things like that are just so quotable and fun. And, you know, there's other great things about it too. The zombie humor is fantastic, as, like, they see a zombie for the first time and they think he's a drunk, and them trying to pretend to be zombies and completely failing at it. It's just an awesome, fun film. At number 5, kicking off our top 5, is the original Child's Play. The mystery and excitement I get when watching this film is just, it's like I'm watching it for the first time every time I watch it, because I'm just on the edge of my seat waiting for him to commit that first murder with Aunt Maggie, pushing her out the window, or knocking her out the window, I mean, which is great. You know, plus you got Andy Barclay, that kid, man, I honestly would have killed to be that kid in that film. Also, Detective Norris and Karen, they're great. I forget who plays them. But they were great as well. And just really, just Chucky in general is fantastic. And the origin story of Charles Lee Ray. Just every time you see Charles Lee Ray, every time you see Charles Lee Ray get on that doll and start saying the chant like Ade Due Dembala, we've all heard that chant so many times by watching this film that it's embedded in our minds. Just a true horror classic. At number 4 is It 2017. Unlike It Chapter 2, this movie was handled extremely well. Stephen King, approved it. Annie Machete, pats on the back to you, bro. And just another fantastic cast. You know, you have Jaden Weasley. You have, of course, I forget what his name is. You have Jack Dylan Grazer. You got Finn Wolfhard, Sophia Lillis, Wyatt Oleff. Just some really talented kid actors, and of course Bill Skarsgård, the main man, as Pennywise the Dancing Clown. And this film just blew me away when I saw it in theaters, and it blew me and the Evans Plays, Noah Evans, of course, from the Evans Plays. You guys remember the, a while back, we did some collaborations and stuff. Yeah, we really enjoyed this film, both of us, and we were just quoting this film left and right the next day after seeing it in theaters. And it's just such a fun film, perfect mix of humor and horror. At number 3 is Ghostbusters, the original. Now, we're getting a trailer for the new Ghostbusters today, which is going to be super exciting. And I couldn't be more excited for this. But this movie, I probably quote the most, like, "Nice shooting, Tex." It's like, this man has no dick. Just really awesome stuff, man. You got Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd are the standouts, of course. It sucks that Spangler, I forget what his name is. He's really great. And of course, Winston, he's great as well. I just can't wait to see these guys back in the third one. And this is just such a cool film for me, because the visual effects, for me anyway, I still highly enjoy them. Slimer, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, this, best thing ever, man. Just like, you slimed me, just really quotable, awesome, fun film. One of my favorites. At number 2 is Joker. While it is one of my favorite films of this year, it is not my favorite movie of all time. You'll see that in number 1. But still, this is an awesome film. Seriously, guys, you guys need to go out and see it. It is in IMAX theaters. It is in theaters in IMAX for 1 week only. It started Friday, so go out and see it, guys. Seriously, it is worth it. Joaquin Phoenix does an excellent job as Arthur Fleck / Joker. Also, you get some great stuff and great back and forth banter in the final act between him and Robert De Niro's character. Just some awesome. It's very suspenseful. It's thrilling. It's shocking. It's emotional at times. They actually get you to feel for this character, and it handled the Joker in the best way, because in past films with Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, it's not Batman Begins, I'm sorry, The Dark Knight, the original Batman from '89, the original TV show, none of them really nailed the character because it was all about Batman. But since this film is all about the Joker, we get a awesome representation of the character. And Joker's one of my favorite characters ever. Actually, he is my favorite comic book character. At number 1, though, is my favorite film from last year, Bohemian Rhapsody. I never, ever thought in a million years that this would be my favorite movie of all time. But I was young and I was discovering Queen's music. I always heard their music and liked it, and I didn't know it was Queen. Then I watched this film. I just went into it thinking, hey, this looks interesting. I don't know much about it. And then I start hearing their songs. I'm like, oh shoot, this is them. Like, this is awesome. And then they hit you with that big final act where they replicate the Live Aid show in such a perfect way. Just all the musical montages, the emotion of Freddie, saying like, what if I don't have time? And just fantastic performance by Rami Malek, man. He really did deserve that Oscar. And it just got me super emotional, man. It's an emotional one. It's, it doesn't have to be some big action film. It doesn't have to have, someone dancing downstairs. It doesn't have to have ghosts. It doesn't have to have dinosaurs. This is just an emotional joyride. And I'm so glad that it was made. And I hope we get a sequel. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.